days of the early stuff, 13 in the first and 8 in the second by Ben, are over now. But he has scored 44 knockdowns in his career. It's incredible, that. Oh, this is the old blasting Ben by the look of it.
Ben wants to step the pace up, but he doesn't want to become wild. Those were kind of swinging punches, not the punches we expect from him. But he is going to have to step the pace up, force this man into making some mistakes.
This Canadian, though, he's not only shrewd, Jim, he's a bit durable too. He takes a fair shot.
Yeah, he's good at what he does, Reg. He knows how to mess people about. He's an intelligent thinking fighter. And he's certainly paying Ben lots of respect. He's not staying in the one spot for a second. As soon as Ben gets close, he's going right up against Ben, putting his chin over his shoulder. Ben's going to have to punch as he moves in. He can't let this fella see it. Here he goes again. He can't allow Sherry to get close. He's going to have to punch as he moves in. Well,
Ben not a bit amused by that, and quite rightly, Larry O'Connell. Oh, there we go now. So you want it that way? All right, let's forget it. This is where you need a strong referee. And of course, former boxer.
That was a good shot, Reg. Caught Sherry high. That was a nice punch. Ben just wants to show a little feint and draw some mistakes from him.
So they're often both throwing right hands at the same time, Jim. It's just a question of who connects first.
Well, I think Ben can certainly afford to trade with this fellow. But as soon as Ben allows him close up, he just wants to spoil.
Oh, low punch there. Yep, quite rightly. Deserves a warning for that. That's the way to shoot the right hand over the top of the left lead. He did it well there, Ben.
Well, most of Ben's success has come from his right hand, so he wants to start favouring that now. He's got that few more inches to get the right hand in. Sherry's nullifying Ben's left hand work, his jab, but the right hand is working.
Made great fuss about the size of the ring, the Canadian camp, and they had to dismantle it and put it back up again. It was 16 foot odd in inside measurement, but the management wouldn't go for it, so they made it 18 foot. But he's not really using it enough, skirting around the perimeters, Sherry, to have bothered to do all that, to hold the show start up. Oh, what a punch. Well, the right hand was always coming. He is not going to make that. Now, this fella's never been counted out in his life, but his legs are gone, and he stopped it in the third round. The perfect finish there by Nigel Benn. He took his time a little bit. There was always a bit of quality about his punching tonight, and they're invading the ring as they always do. And he deserves the plaudits, Ben, because that's one of the most complete professional jobs he's done, because, Jim, this fella takes a real good punch.
And that was a cracking punch, Reg. That's the only kind of punches that Ben throws, is the good punches. He had a little bit more space with the right hand to get the punches home. Sherry was nullifying most of the left hand work, and there it went. Just missed his whisker a couple of times earlier, but that one was bang on the chin.
So the doctor's had a quick look at Dan Sherry. He can't have any objections this time, as he did last time. And the formal hand raising, of course, for the newspaper photographers more than anybody, that picture. 32nd win now out of 34 fights for Nigel Benn. Assistant Peter de Freitas in the corner there, and everybody very delighted, and rightly so too, because that really puts Ben back in that world title picture. He needs to have a championship tag. Jim, let's have another look at this.
Yeah, well, Ben was very dangerous with the right hand all the way through. The first punch of the fight was the right hand, similar to that, not with the same power. But against one of the most difficult men in the game, to look good against, Nigel's managed it. That was a beautiful punch to finish with.
Went down there as though somebody had whipped the carpet from under his feet there, Sherry. He really knew he'd been tagged there with a dynamite punch. This fella can bang a bit, and I must say, in his old age, at 28, well, he's getting a bit of boxing ability and maturity and a bit of skill to go with it, and that's what you need at world level. Oh, and I tell you what, Look at the size of those shoulders. He's got the body to go with it. Big night for Nigel Benn at Alexandra Palace.
Nigel Benn, you got too much energy left. I finished too quickly.
Yeah, it's my mum's cooking. Hi, Mum. I've done it.
Right. That punch is the sort of punch that makes Nigel Benn so exciting.
Well, you know, I was trying to be very relaxed. I mean, if I came out there throwing, he would have just clung on to me. So I was just taking my time, trying to pick my shots. But you know, thank you. He's very hard to hit, elusive. But I know when I tried to catch him downstairs, I could hear him. And I heard him started breathing heavily, and I was taking my time. I just felt so relaxed.
Right. It happened very quickly. Take us through it.
Well, I was waiting for the right hand to land. I mean, I was trying to catch him all night, but he knew what he had to avoid, and he was doing it very good. But I know it was only a matter of time before I caught up with him.
You keep having different fights. You've had a tall guy, you've had a short guy, and this guy would have made it very difficult. He was a real spoiler turning around.
Yeah, he was, you know, and I knew everyone was telling me he was going to do that, so I wasn't going to start pushing on and burning myself up. But in a minute, I'm just going to have a glass of sherry, and then that'd be good night.
Not time for jokes, this. That was a bad joke, that, but you fought very well tonight.
You've told a lot of bad jokes in your time, Gilbert.
Right. Now, how aggrieved do you feel that Dan Sherry being promised a fight with Eubank if he beat you tonight by the promoter on the right here, Barry Hearn, and yet Eubank clearly does not want to fight you. He's made that clear to me as well.
Well, first of all I do, I feel very, very sorry for Eubanks at this present moment. I sincerely do, and I don't want to fight him, not until he gets his act together. I'm not saying it's his fault. I mean, you know.
Yes, but he gave you the chance. You gave him the chance to win the title, and now whatever's happening to him at the moment, he doesn't want to fight you.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, he said, this is one thing I don't understand. He says he wants to, you know, make as much money as quick as possible and get the hell out of the game. Why is he having all these fights when he can have one fight with me, and then that's it? He either carries on, but if he fights me again, he knows he'll be a rich man. So I'm saying this to you, Chris. If you want a big payday, let's get it on. Let's give the British public what they want. It's one thing with me, that's what I like doing, pleasing the public, and so do you, so let's me and you get it on.
How frustrated are you, just before I move on to Barry, how frustrated are you that you're not fighting Eubank? You keep saying you're going for other titles, but this is the one you want, isn't it?
It's the one I want, you know, but the thing I want, I do want a title because I feel naked. And I gave Eubanks a shot, and I expect him to give me one back in return. Because the thing about it, I knew why I lost to Chris. He prepared like a champion. I didn't.
Well, you're a different man these days.
Yeah.
Can't criticise you tonight, so let's move on to Barry Hearn.
Makes a nice change.
Yeah, well, he was struggling a bit in sorting out the spoiling, but what a punch to finish it.
Well, that's box office punch, and that's what people come to see Nigel Benn and why they tune in live and exclusive on ITV. Yeah, all right, I admit it was very impressive, you know. But he's been a very relaxed character the last couple of months, and there's been all this, the X-rated violence is in there welling up underneath what is a very nice exterior.
You keep promising people like Sherry fights against Eubank. Why can't you promise Ben a fight with Eubank?
Well,
I mean, this is, you know, you're being used here by him.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. Like all good promoters, you know, we always use boxers, you know that.
What's the matter of opinion
One thing
about
I would
good
like
promoters?
to say, I would like to say, he has got me a world title. That's all I wanted him to do, is get me a world title, and that's what he's done.
We have a world title fan for Nigel, because the great thing about Nigel Benn now,
well, tell us about it.
He can fight for any one of the four divisions.
Title?
The WBA would like him to fight Cordova.
What world title have you got for him?
Gary, you can't pressurise me into making an on-the-spot.
Well, you can't make these claims in front of a live audience without telling us what it is.
Nigel Benn will fight for a world title.
Please tell us what the fight is.
30th of May.
We have 6 months. We have 6 months, and we will.
Well,
get
what are you
Nigel
aiming
Benn.
for?
We're aiming to put a belt around Nigel Benn.
Which one? There's four versions.
WBC,
The
anything.
WBC is our favourite to go for. The WBO is possible because he's going to be ranked number one, and Eubank's going to have to fight.
But let me tell you this: you keep teasing us with the Eubank Ben return. We all want to see it.
Gary,
when
I'm going to
is it going
tease
to
you
happen?
all the time because at the moment I like your style, but you don't pay enough to know.